We spoke to Lee Cronin, the director of the latest installment in the Evil Dead franchise, Evil Dead Rise. Check it out. First of all, your movie is an absolute blast. I had such a great time in the cinema.
Happy to
Tell
hear
me
it.
this, and tell me if I'm getting this correct, but I have something of a Star Wars comparison to what you've done here. So
Okay.
to me, Fede's 2013 reboot was The Force Awakens, a familiar entry point back into the franchise after 20 years. And what you've done with this one is kind of like what Rian Johnson did with The Last Jedi in growing out and trying to develop the mythology. Is that accurate?
I think it's not something that was on my mind, but it's a reasonable comparison to make. I think with Fede's work, which he made a fantastic movie in 2013, which brought Evil Dead back for the first time in a very long time. But that's in a sense maybe more of an obvious reboot because it's at the cabin and the circumstances are a little
Right.
bit more similar. But I definitely wanted to take the power of the book, the power of the lore, bring it into a new context, bring it into a new world, and to expand on what we'd seen before. So I think it's a reasonably fair comparison, albeit our movies are a little bit smaller than the behemoths that are Star Wars.
To be fair, I try to compare a lot of things in my life to Star Wars, so it might just be me.
That's fair. That's fair.
Tell me this: you've got the work shirt, you've got the chainsaws, you've got all the vomit,
Yeah.
you've got all the relevant iconography in this film. Does including all of that stuff come naturally to your writing process? Is it like asking Eric Clapton to play Layla for the millionth time? Does it become a chore?
I love being compared to Eric Clapton. No, because I think I'm at the beginnings of my career. I think I still find a lot of excitement in the type of stories that I'm telling, and it's quite a lot of fun when I always start with character, and I try and start with the storyline and what the movie is about before I dig too deep into the horror, and then that all starts to seep in. Those ideas start to form, and for me, it's a lot of fun. It's like it's not the worst job to have, to sit down and get to be creative in a way where your job is to bring people into a dark room and scare them. That's not the worst job in the world. I'm pretty happy that I get to do it.
And what about the gross out gore moments in the film? Do you come up with them first and then kind of build scenes around them? Like I saw the cheese grater and I immediately went into a fetal position. Like I knew what was coming.
Yeah, look, it's never, one measurement fits all here. It depends. Sometimes you're looking for something in a scene, and sometimes you just have an idea, and that in turn inspires the scene. I wish I could remember with the cheese grater exactly what the order of events was. I do remember looking for a domestic weapon in a way that maybe hadn't been used before, and the cheese grater landed, but possibly I already knew that I needed that scene because there's also character context in that scene in terms of the pressure that the character of Beth has been put under by her niece at that point in time, and it's there's a lot more horror to that scene than just the cheese grater. But I know I toyed around with different weapons till I kind of found the right blend.
Oh, Lee, I'm all out of time, but yeah, your movie was a lot of fun. And let me tell you, you tapped into something innate, my friend. I think it's a fear I have every time I'm cleaning a cheese grater. So
I know.
thank you very much.
Yeah, get that cheese grater in the dishwasher. Don't be washing it by hand, man. That's too dangerous.
Here's what she said to me.
Evil Dead Rise is an absolute blast. If you're a fan of the franchise, you're going to absolutely love this one. Watch it in cinemas right now. Don't forget to check out our other interviews. Tell your friends, tell your family, like, share, comment. You know what to do.